Welcome to the next session of low back therapy. So at this point, you should be pretty well through your recovery. You're back to your activities of daily life, feeling pretty strong. You're not having any back pain. And so what we want to work on now is preventative maintenance. So we've worked through your acute issue, we worked through getting a little bit more range of motion, and then we've worked to start practicing opening up your posterior chain and your side body. So now it's time to focus on strengthening the front of the body to support the back of your body. So I'll show you a few moves today, and you can practice these anywhere from 1 to 3 times per week, and you'll really start to notice a difference. So when I talk about the core, I'm not talking about creating a six-pack for you, although maybe down the road that's something you can think about. What we're going to think about today is the deep transverse abdominals, the core stabilizers, those things that help us stand up straight and help the front of the body, and the back of the body become balanced. So to start, I'll have you come to hands and knees, and you'll step back through one leg and lift that leg high. Now, if balance is an issue, you're going to keep both hands rooted to the floor. And you'll just slowly bend the knee and peel it right into the nose and kick back. You'll do this about 5 times, pulling the navel in and up and really rounding the spine. Start to feel the low belly activate. If balance is not a problem and you want to kick it up to the next level of intensity, you take the opposite arm out. So for example, my left leg is back, my right arm is reached forward. And then I will pull the elbow to meet the knee. Again, 5 times here. You'll do the same thing on the opposite side. From there, with your shoulders stacked over your wrist, you're going to curl your toes under and round your spine out. Lift your knees, lift your shins, hover. You'll feel the deep low belly activate. Hold for 3 breaths. Lower the knees, drop the belly, lift the chest, finding cow belly. And then repeat. Again, 5 times, holding for 3 breaths each time. After you finish this cycle, you will come down to a seat, support yourself on your hands, and we're going to lift the chest tall. Extend out through one leg, bend the elbows back, and then pull in and up. About 8 to 10 repetitions here, extending low and long. And where you will feel that is here, right in the front part of your thigh and the low belly. So that's your psoas, which is a deep core stabilizer and hip flexor. We want to get that warm and strong. Repeating again, other side. If, as you advance through the practice, you want to take this to the next level, you can take the arms out with no support. The level beyond that is both legs, or maybe supported, okay? So after about 8 repetitions on both sides, you'll come down to the floor. From here, cross your arms over your shoulders, pull the navel into the spine. We have a natural curve in our low back that lifts up. You want to try and flatten that out, scooping and hollowing out the low belly, keeping that back flat. If it helps, you can take something just at the low back so you can feel your back come in touch with it. Draw your knees into your chest, flex your feet, and tap your heels down, keeping that navel stitched tightly to the spine so that the low back stays flat. Again, 8 to 10 repetitions here. When you're finished, hug the knees into the chest, deep breath in. Full breath out. Drop the sole of one foot to the floor, extend up through the opposite leg, hands down, planting the palms into the floor. Lower the heel, again stitching that navel into the spine to flatten the low back. Lift up. 8 to 10 repetitions here. Again, next level here, if you want to kick it up in intensity, you extend the opposite leg out, floating the heel from the floor, and lower and lift. Just switching sides, keeping that back flat to the floor. So first level of intensity, other side. Again, this is working to warm up and strengthen the psoas. and then second level of intensity. Again, both knees will come into the chest. Let your arms come out like a wide T, palms facing towards your ceiling. From here, you're going to drop the knees to one side, let them almost touch the floor, and then pull up strongly through the belly and the side waist and drop to the other side. So this is training the deep obliques, external obliques, and transverse abdominals. 8 times. Once to the right is 1. Once to the left is 2. It's a single count. Both knees into the chest to rest after 8 to 10 repetitions. And the last thing you'll do here is take your arms down, palms facing down, supporting yourself with the arms. Flex your feet. Maybe balance a small ball or a yoga block on your shins, and then extend your legs out. Again, stitching that spine to the floor. Only extend out as far as you can and still keep your back flat. And then pull in. Again, 8 to 10 repetitions. Hands to knees. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Okay, I lied. I said that was the last one, but we're going to try one more. This is completely optional. It might be a bit more advanced. You're going to take the soles of your feet to the ceiling. Flex your feet. Hands will come down beside you, palms facing down. You want to keep the navel stitched and the belly scooped in. And then as you scoop the belly deeper, let the tailbone lift up. Pressing through the heels to lift that tailbone. You'll take 8 to 10 repetitions, nice and slow and controlled on the way up. Nice and slow and controlled on the way down. Knees into the chest. And to rinse that out, you'll take the arms long and let the knees simply fall to one side as you gaze over the opposite shoulder. Come up through center and let your knees fall to the other side, maybe using your hand on the top knee to take the twist a bit deeper. If you want a bit more stretch, you can come up once again to all fours. You'll round your spine into a cat back, push your hips over to one side, and walk your hands in the opposite direction. Deep stretch from the top of your hip to your low rib. You're getting the QL. Rounding and taking it in the opposite direction. And then maybe resting for 3 to 5 breaths in your child's pose with hips to heels. So this series repeated through 3 to 5 times a week or 1 to 3 times a week will start to get you to a point where you have a bit more core stability, and therefore your back is not doing all of the work to stabilize you. So it'll take a lot more pressure off of your back, and your back doesn't have to do as much work. So I wish you the best of luck in your recovery and all the best in health and wellness. Thanks so much for joining me today.